talking franchises here, bud.
Autobots, Decepticons, two warring groups of truck robots or vehicle robots, and the war started over there on Cybertron, one of our best planets. It's got 3 moons, and it only robots live there. Robots that can transform into human-like vehicles. Hey, now they're at war. The war comes here to Earth. All right, now we got to deal with this war. The military and the Witwicky family. All right. And that's what we're going to be covering here on the franchise over the course of the next month. All right. It's war movies, Autobots, Decepticons battling. All right. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. You're jacked into the franchise. Over there's Logan Adair. Logan, what's your history with the Transformers?
Ba, weep, grana, weep, ninny bong. That's the universal welcome. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, I did.
Where did you learn that? From this?
In one of these movies, yes.
Oh. What do you mean one of them? You mean that one?
I don't remember which one it was in.
What are you talking? It's the first one.
I watched these back to back, yo. They're kind of, I'm like, what was that first one? Was Shy in there? No, I get them confused.
All right, whatever. But what was your question that you had for me? You asked me I've seen the first couple movies. That's really it. I never saw. Was there a show? I never played with the toys. Is there comics? No, I didn't do any of that. I'm not a loser like you are.
I never did that either, dude. I mean,
you don't love these like the Ninja Turtles?
No. They're not nearly in the same league for me as the Turtles. I never took them quite so seriously. Even as a kid, you're like, robots that become cars, like that's cool and all, but like, does that pass the sniff test with me? I'm not so sure.
What's any different than turtles who are also samurai warriors?
Yeah, I guess the fact that they're ninjas is weird, but they're in the sewer, they're fucking around. The Transformers, like they're aliens that turn into like cars that you see every day on the streets of Earth.
You ever think about that when you were a kid? You think that might be a Transformer? I did.
I never thought that, but like I would just like I'd watch the cartoon. I did like the Transformers cartoon a little, and the whole thing, like the cartoon wasn't on Earth that much. It was all on Cybertron. And so like they'd be riding around in these like fucking Ferraris, and I'd be like, yeah, but how? Why?
You also don't care about cars.
Yeah, that's another thing. But it's Transformers is kind of to me like why I had problems with Lord of the Rings when I was younger. Because like any rule, there are no rules. They could create anything, and then all of a sudden, it's now part of continuity.
How so?
Because like these robots, they could turn into anything, and there's not a finite amount of them. I'm watching this thing in the 80s, going like, does this take place in the 80s or does it take place in the future? Why is that one guy turning into a cassette deck? Like, shouldn't he be turned? Like cassette decks are not natural. Like, so they must be built, but who's building them? And you never get these answers ever. I mean, I'm ready. I sidled up to this first Michael Bay Transformers this week, Logan, like it was Fellowship of the Ring. And I'm like, I'm going to understand this shit once and for all.
Yeah, me too, kind of.
All right. But then, like, the opening narration of it is like, well, the Transformers were created by a magical cube called the Allspark. And I'm like, all right, tell me more. And it's like, the narration specifically says nobody, including the Transformers, know where it came from. And I'm like, what?
What can you even do with the Allspark? Like
I
they
think
put it up to at the end, they put it up to the bad guy's chest and he dies. We're skipping all the way to the second movie, but Shia
the end
does
of the
that.
second movie.
And he dies. But why were the bad guys after it? Could they like control the world with it?
Yeah, here's what I think is going on with the Allspark. All right, so in X-Men comics, there used to be this thing M Day, right? M Day happened, and then all the mutants lost their powers except for like 200 of them. All right, and then there were no more mutant births after that. So that's what I think happened here. Like during the war, when they lost track of the Allspark, now there can be no more Transformer births. So you're looking at the last generation of Transformers. And so like both the Decepticons and the Autobots are after the Allspark because they're like, we can create new Transformers and recruit them to our side of thinking. And I don't really understand like the motivations behind either. Like I don't understand the philosophies. It just seems to be like the Autobots think being good people are good and the Decepticons think being bad is good.
Right. But I guess then at that point we're getting into every story ever. So a little bit. But you're saying these have even less motivation than most other stories?
No, I understand the motivations behind each side. They want to keep the Transformers as a race of living beings, but I don't understand their philosophies. You know what I mean?
Right. And why are they even against each other really?
Yeah, I'd love to know that. And like I hope one of these movies gives us like a flashback to like Megatron and Optimus Prime, maybe they're kids or something. You get to see Megatron in a concentration camp.
I hope so. I really hope the metal starts to bend. All right, anyway, back to the first movie. I guess we should start with that. The Transformers, the movie. Really sloppy.
Yeah, that's too many thes, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, The Transformers, the movie. This came out the year I was born. Actually, like a week after I was born. One of the first movies to come out in my lifetime.
Wow. And they introduced the worst Daniel that's ever been on screen.
Can I catch a break with these Daniels?
Yeah.
They're all
What was the last one?
terrible.
Was that last one Ninja Turtles? Was it the little boy Daniel there?
And he's awful.
He's better than this one, I think. This guy sucked. They just cut to him. He's crying about his dad. His dad is missing, and then he dies, but not really. I don't know.
His dad's Spike, by the way.
Yeah. I thought, yeah, that's a weird name.
Well, I thought you'd be pumped because of Spike from Buffy.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I didn't even think of Spike from Buffy. I don't know how that happened. I was just thinking like Spike should be the name of a Transformer, not the name of a person.
You're right. But maybe the Transformers named them.
Did they? Are they the only two humans?
They're the only two humans that we know exist in this world.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael Bay fixed that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it. The first movie, they're just like, all right, there's a successful cartoon. It's been on for 2 seasons, and we got to create new toys. So, like, what they were doing with this movie is like, let's just do a 90-minute version of exactly what you see in the cartoon every week. We'll make the animation look a lot better, and then we'll introduce a shit ton of new characters so we can sell toys out of it. That's all. But then,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But
So
then
who's new? Who's new?
Well, all those guys.
Cup and Hot Rod?
No, those are originals.
Oh, because I like those guys.
Hot Rod and Jazz and whatever. But like, there's
Jazz dies in both movies, both versions.
That's because he's black.
Is that it, you think?
He's a black Transformer.
The second movie, very racist. They like insult every single.
You're talking about the Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, sorry, it's the way we're doing it. The Michael Bay version insults every. Is it nationality? Every single nationality there is out there. It's crazy.
That black Transformer Jazz in Michael Bay's version I love the way that he's constantly like crossing his arms to like he's doing like hip hop poses all the time. But it's like hip hop poses from the 80s. It's the kind of poses you'd expect like Run DMC to make.
I think in future movies we get like some hip hop characters.
I remember I've seen the first two of these Michael Bays, all right? And I do remember that in the second one there was a hip hop transformer with gold teeth.
That might be what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
do you know who voices him or her?
No,
Okay.
but I look forward to finding out in our journey.
Journey
Okay.
to the center of. Oh, damn it! I couldn't think of the planet. God damn it.
Cybertron.
I was gonna say Unicron. He's a planet.
That was a new character.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he was
he's cool.
expensive because he was planet sized.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. He was sort of like that Kurt Russell character from Guardians 2.
Ego, yeah.
Yeah.
Egon.
Ego, you had it.
What's
right.
Egon?
He's one of the Ghostbusters.
Oh,
So this movie is directed by Nelson Shin. He's just a regular animation guy. He's done a lot of cartoons. And then it's written by Ron Friedman, a Jew. All right. Although I don't think there are any Jewish Transformers.
Really?
I mean, Michael Bay's got to put one in eventually. It's going to be one. He's got like he's the piggy bank
yarmulke
for the Transformers. Like all the money they keep all their Cybertron bucks in his asshole or something.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he might have like a little metal yarmulke, like how the Asian Transformer had a little metal Fu Manchu mustache.
And they're like, where is this guy? And they're like, oh, it's Saturday. God damn it.
Oh, I get it.
Shabbat or whatever it is.
Yeah. The robot Sabbath.
Right.
All right. So August 8th, 1986, this came out. It had a $6 million budget, which is a lot for like. I read that 90 minutes of the Transformer cartoon cost $1 million to make.
Wow.
So it's 6 times the budget of the cartoon. And it didn't do well. It made 5.8 million at the box office. Came in at number 99 for the year, between two classics, Logan: Highlander, which we'll have to cover on the show, and The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Incredible. All right. All right. I mean, let's talk about it. It's 2005. I liked that detail. I'm like, I wonder if 9/11 happened in the Transformers universe. It clearly did in the Michael Bay version.
Yeah. Why do you say clearly?
Well, because there's like a bunch of military guys deployed in the Middle East.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Looks like Cybertron at this point has been conquered by the Decepticons. And this was confusing for fans of the cartoon, Logan, because the movie takes place 20 years after the season 2 finale. All right?
Right.
So we're skipping 20 years. I bet you writers had a field day with that later on. I bet there's a lot of comic books like what took place in those 20 years.
And it sort of takes the air out of the show a little bit, because you know that even whatever outcome they come up with, it's just going to end up where the bad guys are on top, right?
No, you silly boy. After this, like season 3 just picked up at the end of this movie.
Oh my god, they're geniuses. It's so good.
All right. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to talk about.
All right,
Who
I
are
got
some of your
something.
favorite Transformers?
Oh, well, my favorite was Bumblebee in this movie, and then he died.
In this movie?
No, not really. You know who I liked? I like Starscream. Starscream was cool.
He's cool, man. I got that.
Do you have a favorite from the cartoon?
I was like Soundwave.
We don't know
He's a
him
cassette
yet, do we?
deck. You know, he's a cassette deck. He's not in the Bay movies yet, but he's in this one.
Oh, really?
And I also liked I really like those Dinobots a lot.
Mm-hmm. The shark ones. I like those guys.
Yeah. What was the name of the main Dinobot, the T-Rex?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he was like, oh, I have to look it up.
Okay.
This is important to me because he's probably my MVP, Logan.
Are you serious? I got a pretty good MVP.
I'll tell you another one I liked though. There's a like a one that's shaped like a bird,
Yeah.
and
The
his
bad
name was
guy?
Ray. Yeah, a bad guy, and his name was Razorbeak. Thought that was a
Yeah.
great name.
I liked him too.
Grimlock, by the way, was the name of the dinosaur guy. And here's what I liked about him. Every line of dialogue, he would go, "Me Grimlock want to go
Oh,
to the store."
yeah, I like that too. That is very
Yeah.
funny.
I liked it. I liked that it wasn't just me want to go to the store or Grimlock. It was always me Grimlock
Yeah, he doubles down on the
on third person.
I was gonna say third person. I don't want to sound stupid. Yeah, third person.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was great to me. I found him very amusing throughout.
Did you like Orson Welles? Did you want to tell everybody your Orson Welles list or whatever?
Oh no, I don't actually want to do that.
Okay.
But Orson Welles, this is his final role in a feature film.
Oh,
He died less than a week after recording his voice for this movie.
holy shit! They didn't even get to see it come out.
No, but there are like
Oh,
there are all these anecdotes about how in like the final days of Orson Welles' life he kept telling people he had a fun time doing this.
that's great. I love
I
it.
know. And supposedly like his voice at this point was like so wheezy, like he was having trouble breathing and shit, that they had to like put the whole thing through like a synthesizer. So that's why like the voice of that planet is so affected.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed it. Thank you, Orson, for all your
There are some
contributions.
amazing actors in this film.
Yeah. What do you got? I saw
Let
Scatman.
what Scatman Crothers. This is also his last film.
Oh my gosh, it's a
How about
cursed
that?
movie, like
Yeah, it's
Poltergeist.
like Poltergeist. Yeah. No, but it's also got that fella Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek.
Yeah, he died many years later.
Yeah, yeah, right. He was working with JJ when he died. Um,
That's it. The
and
big
then
three.
no, how about Judd Nelson?
Oh, of course, he was first billed. I think Judd. Who was he?
He played Hot Rod,
Oh, I loved
and
Hot Rod.
I didn't. Here, let's talk.
Oh, why?
Listen, no, here's the thing with Hot Rod. All right, he shows up on screen. I'm excited. All right, it's Judd Nelson's voice, and you could tell it's Judd Nelson. He's like delivering lines like he's fucking Bender. And he has the best color scheme of any of the cars.
I agree.
All right.
I
Yeah.
don't remember his
That
colors, but it was very vibrant,
it
very
was
cool.
it was like pink and neon green or something. And but then first he spends like the first half of the movie just dicking around with the little boy. All right. And I
Man,
don't care
say
about those
dicking around with a
scenes.
little boy.
He's dicking around with that little boy, and then fucking he's the reason Optimus Prime gets killed.
Really?
All right? I've got news for you. If Hot Rod doesn't exist, Optimus Prime is alive to this day.
Or he dies even sooner.
What are you talking about?
Maybe Hot Rod's not there to back him up for a second sooner than that, and he dies. How did that? What do you mean? What happens? How does he? How
He
does
does
he do it?
shit without thinking. At one point, like Prime's like, "Don't do that," and Hot Rod goes and does what he was told not to, and Prime sacrifices himself to save Hot Rod.
Damn. Wow. I
Pissed
I
me
didn't
off,
expect
man.
Optimus Prime to die. I was pretty shocked by that.
Nobody
seen this
did.
before?
Yeah, I'd seen it as a
Oh.
kid.
Oh.
The thing was though, what is it, Hasbro?
Sure.
They were their whole thing was we're gonna create a new line of toys out of this movie, so we're gonna wrap up the old line. So like that's the reason a bunch of characters died in this movie, and they didn't think anyone would give a shit. But then there was such an outpouring of anger over Optimus Prime dying that they resurrected him in the comic book. I mean, in the cartoon.
Yeah, the two biggest ones in the Bay movies, Prime and Bumblebee, are dead at the end of this one. Prime
Yeah.
dead like 20 minutes in.
Yeah, and they're just asking you to like, all right, gang, now your favorite character is gonna be Ultra Magnus.
I kind of liked him. Were was Prime like? Is he the star of the show?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Logan. He's the face of the Transformer franchise.
he is the
I mean,
coolest.
he's
looking
even the
one.
logo of the Autobots.
Oh yeah, he is. You're right about that.
Mhm.
Um, what happened in this movie?
I liked the music a lot.
Oh my gosh, music was just nonstop. It's
Yeah.
just constant 80s rock music in this movie.
There was a Weird Al song.
Really? Which one?
Dare to be stupid. Dare to be stupid. It was wild to hear like a Weird Al song like in what was meant to be like a serious sequence.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even recognize it, but I just like
Did you
became numb to the music. To be honest, I didn't really like this that much. Did you?
No, of course not. Stupid. The whole thing takes place on Cybertron. Who gives a shit?
I mean, I like certain aspects of it, like when like Galvatron, like when he turns into Galvatron, and then he's like, "Hey, I don't want to work for Unicron," right? And then he starts like misbehaving. That's pretty good stuff. But
Yeah. I liked
like,
when
other in what ways?
Starscream threw Megatron out of that ship.
Yeah,
Like, I'm gonna be the lead of the Decepticons now, motherfucker.
yeah, everything with Starscream and Megatron and Unicron, like that whole plot there with those three was pretty good. But
Yeah.
anything else, I was not into. So it's just like
I like when that human Spike said shit. That was really exciting. I was not expecting an S-bomb to come up in this movie.
yeah. Like I guess I wasn't either. That was pretty good. You wanted more A bombs and Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah, I did. Could have used at least two of them. Uh, fucking. But how about the Boogie Nights song?
What are you talking about?
I want to shout out Dallas. I wouldn't have recognized this. They're playing a song halfway through the movie. Dallas goes, "This is the song that Dirk Diggler goes into the record studio to perform with John C. Reilly and Boogie Nights."
After all is said and done, you never walk, you never run, you're winning.
Wow.
Remember that part of Boogie Nights?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't remember
I
what the song
always
is.
thought that was a movie that was like written for Boogie Nights because it really sounds like Mark Wahlberg singing it. But then here it is, right here in this movie.
Yeah. Did you look it up to confirm she was right? Or-
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a great call. I'd like to know.
That song, by the way, has a fascinating history. Okay,
Yeah.
listen to this. It was inspired by a line in the movie Iron Eagle. All right, which has sequels. We covered that. It's like a Top Gun ripoff. And then it was written specifically to be in the movie Cobra with Sylvester Stallone. Cobra rejected the song. All right. Then it shows up in this Transformers movie. And then years later, Paul W.S. Anderson dusted it off.
For what?
Wait, I meant Paul Thomas Anderson. Sorry. I was thinking of my favorite Anderson.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is Mr. Anderson.
Oh, well, he's Megatron.
What do you mean?
Megatron was, Hugo Weaving.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Mr. Anderson.
All right. Anyway, what else happened? Rodimus Prime. That was a great moment
What was that?
when Hot Rod became the leader at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah. Hey, can I ask you some more questions about the realism?
Yeah, go for it.
How about the part when we first meet Hot Rod? He's fishing with Daniel. So we know that there are fish on Cybertron. I want to know what other kinds of wildlife are on there. Because then later in the movie, we find out there are robot sharks, right? Do the robot sharks coexist with the real fish?
No. I think they took real sharks and added robot features.
Who did? The Allspark?
No, the Decepticons. You don't
Oh,
think
I
so?
see what you're saying. They're like, but
They're like Nebula. They're like tested
but
tests.
we know that they have fish on this planet. We saw them fishing. So what?
It would be like they just take a fish to the Decepticons, and then the Decepticons would take that fish and add robot parts to it.
But is that? But what else is there? Like, do you think like the Transformers can go into the woods and like go hunt deer?
Sure. And then make
You think
them
they've got
robots.
all the same wildlife? It's like the same sort of planet we've got here, except that all the residents are robots / cars.
I do think that, yes.
That's crazy to me. I feel like Cybertron as a planet was built by the Allspark. Like the Allspark is some sort of like omniscient robot god. And he's trying to like create Cybertron in his own. What does Christians say? That dumb thing? In his own
Who's
face.
Christian?
Or Christians.
Wrestler?
Like, no. You know, the religious people.
Oh. I don't know.
They say God created the earth in his own image. That's the word I was looking
Ooh.
for.
That's good. So the Allspark is God?
I think the Allspark is God and it created Cybertron in his own image.
Wow. So
Which is why
is
it confuses
Cybertron
me
a
that fish
sphere?
are on there. In this, in the Michael Bay, he is.
He?
Well, we don't know. It is.
That was very weird what you just did. You just assigned Cybertron a he.
I guess so. Hey, listen, he's probably a he. Let's be honest. We only meet one fucking female Transformer in either of these movies.
Yeah. That was odd. Why didn't she? I mean, she had no role. Was she like I feel like she was flirting with somebody at one moment.
Yeah,
But then that was
she
dropped.
was just there to be a lady, and her name
I
was
didn't like
RC. Her name was Arceus. I thought they should have had her in a feud with another Transformer.
Abby Maria.
Abby Maria.
Oh, great job. I love it.
Thank you. Classic Survivor the Philippines reference.
They're fighting over Petus.
Yeah. Oh, Pete. All right. What do you give it?
2? I don't know.
Yeah. That's what it deserves. It's a 2. It's a
Yeah.
good time. It's good nostalgia if you like grew up with this shit, but like
If we're gonna compare Lord of the Rings to the Transformers, that Lord of the Rings movie from Bakshi, that's way better than this.
oh yeah, but I don't think you would compare the two. I think you'd
I know.
have to compare this to something like the Jetsons movie that came out in the 80s with Tiffany, or like Flintstones Meet the Jetsons, or maybe like the first Ninja Turtles live action movie or something. And this doesn't hold a candle to any of those.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen those, but
Oh,
yeah,
there's
you're
also
probably
the
right.
G.I. Joe movie, and that's
Well,
kind
Tim
of
said something. What was it Tim said?
Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
He mentioned something about how this movie had something to do with G.I. Joe. Was it this movie
Yeah,
or the
but-
next movie?
I don't know what he means.
Oh my god, you may try to find it.
If it's about the next movie, I might know what he means, but
Please discuss how the Transformers movie changes the G.I. Joe animated movie.
oh, I don't know that.
All right, Tim, we don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Tim. All right.
Maybe we'll find out when we cover G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra. I don't know what they're called.
You know what? I was thinking of G.I. Joe when I was watching these yesterday, and G.I. Joe's actually a great one for the franchise because it's 4 movies total.
What makes 4 so great? Wouldn't 2 be better?
Yeah, but just 2 solid weeks of Joe, right? Because the first week it would be the cartoon and that first GI Joe live action, and then the second week would be the one with The Rock and that Snake Eyes origin movie.
I don't even know what the last thing you're talking about is.
Yeah, dude. No
Which
one
one has
does.
Channing Tatum?
The Tate.
In the
I
first
think
one? Like
he's
the
in at
second one?
least yeah. He's in at least that one. I don't know if he's in the one with The Rock too.
Yeah, I think he might have bailed.
Could be.
Christian Bale. Should have got him. No.
He's not making GI Joe movies.
Maybe one day.
Who's your MVP of this?
I liked Hot Rod. Thought Hot Rod was cool.
Yeah, I liked him until he fucking murdered Optimus Prime. I'll go with Starscream.
All right, it's a good pick. Oh, would have been my second choice.
Oh,
I also
wait,
like
no,
the shark.
I want to go with that dino. I want to go with the dino who says me Grimlock.
Oh yeah, Grimlock. That's a good choice too.
No,
This is definitely not a one. There were some
it's a
enjoyable.
2.
There were some
Yeah.
enjoyable parts. But
Who's your LVP?
I gotta go Daniel. Daniel.
Of course, Daniel.
So
Fuck
bad.
Daniel.
Yeah. Sorry.
For heaven's sake. All right, let's get into it. So I thought I'd find like a shit ton of stuff on this. Like, remember when we did like Planet of the Apes? I found like a million Planet of the Apes movies that like they started making and never finished. Like
Right.
between like the end of one franchise and the beginning of another. Like I thought I'd find that for this, but there were literally no Transformers movies in development. They made the cartoon in the 80s, and then no other movie was in development until the Michael Bay one.
That's what makes
They-
Bay such a visionary.
But he didn't come up with this, dude. He came on pretty late in the game to this.
Not really.
We'll talk about it. All right. So Don Murphy, he was working with Hasbro trying to turn properties into movies. Okay. So his first choice, he was going to do G.I. Joe live action. And then in 2003, George W. Bush deployed the military to Iraq. All right. And he was like, maybe people don't want to watch like a fun movie about military guys right now.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. So he pivoted. He changed to this one, Transformers. And he brought on this fella, Tom DeSanto, who's another producer who like knew stuff about the Transformers. All right. Now, all that became moot because Steven Spielberg got wind that they're making a Transformers movie. He goes, I want it.
Yeah, they didn't let him.
No, they did.
Oh.
He's an executive producer credit on this movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Spielberg, he jumps in. He hires this fella, John Rogers, to write. I love that he saw something in John Rogers because he created the Jackie Chan Adventures cartoon. So I hope Steven Spielberg has watched that. He also wrote a really good run at DC of the Blue Beetle comic, and that movie's coming out soon. How embarrassing does that movie look?
I've avoided everything.
Every time
Already going to
in
be
the
there
trailer,
opening night.
like I mean, the Flash tanked, and it had Michael Keaton as Batman. This fucking Blue Beetle movie, is it gonna make over or under $1,000?
like profit or total? You just mean total.
Total.
Money? I think under.
It could be, man. We'll be looking at a
$1,000.
triple digit opening weekend for this Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so Rogers turns in a script. Spielberg's like, all right. It's not the one, though. I'm Steven Spielberg. I know when shit's ready. So he brings on these other fellas, Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci. And they've done some work with Michael Bay recently. They wrote a movie called The Island. And they also were big JJ loyalists. They wrote for Alias and co-created Fringe with him. And I think worked on those Star Trek movies too.
Wow.
So they come on board and Spielberg tells them, I've got one directive for you guys. I think that the Transformers movie should be a simple tale about a boy and his first car. All
I like
right?
it.
Yeah. Because Spielberg thinks everything should be about like a young boy coming of age.
Yeah, he's a genius in that way.
I I know. All right, so that's the script they wrote, and this is the script that attracts Bay. All right, so Spielberg goes to Michael Bay. That's his first choice as director. Says, Michael, you got to make this movie. Michael Bay's like, no, it looks really stupid. I'm not gonna make that. But I guess I want to work with Steven Spielberg, so maybe I'll make it. And then he ended up making fucking 5 of them.
Spielberg still produces them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I guess why wouldn't he?
Yeah. All right. So the movie comes out July 3rd, 2007. I saw it in the theaters.
Not me.
And
I don't think.
yeah, my college girlfriend, I remember. And I think she more wanted to see it than I did, actually.
She liked the Transformers.
I guess so. She must have had some nostalgia for it.
Maybe she
Anyway.
liked Shia. He was huge.
Well, I mean, I like Shia.
Disturbia this same year, by the way.
I know. What a monster year for Shia. Oh, same year, I think, also Guide to Recognizing Your Saints.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
All right.
All right. So July 3rd, 2007, at a $200 million budget, made $709.7 million at the box office. It was the number 3 movie of 2007. You want to hear the top 5?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So
I know one
behind
of
it,
them, Spider-Man 3.
that was number 1. Yeah. Behind it at 5 and 4, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix and Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. And then this was at 3, and the only 2 movies that made more money than this are Spider-Man 3 and Shrek the Third.
Wow. Shrek the Third. Well,
I know. People love those Shreks.
that's the worst one, though.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm going to go through it was nominated for a lot of awards, Logan.
All right.
All right. Even Oscars.
Yeah. Sound effects.
Yep. It lost both of the sound awards to the Bourne Ultimatum. And then
Really? What's so cool about the Bourne? Oh, I guess just guns.
I think people just like those movies.
But the Bourne Ultimatum has so much cool sound design.
Yeah, but I think they're like, let's look at the board here. It feels classier to give it to a Bourne movie than a Transformers.
I could see this winning for sound, honestly. If Bourne is winning, it seems kind of weak.
Well, it lost. It also lost visual effects to the Golden Compass. All right. Over at the MTV Awards, it won Best Movie of the Year.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Over There Will Be Blood.
Yep. And Shia LaBeouf was nominated for Best Actor, but he lost to
we immediately dislike Spider-Man 3. How did that not
feel
win?
like people like Spider-Man 3 more now than they did back then. It was considered a huge disappointment right when it came out.
Really?
Yeah.
We immediately didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone
crazy.
hated it. It was like a thing, like people shit on that movie a lot.
Yeah.
All right. But I loved it. Shia lost to Will Smith in I Am Legend.
Yeah.
And not fair. Megan Fox was nominated for Best Breakthrough Performance, but she lost to Zac Efron in Hairspray.
Was this so early for Megan?
This was her first big movie role. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, they wanted like an unknown for this role, and they went to a bunch. I know that like Emma Stone auditioned for it pre-Superbad. Like,
she and Shia would have been awesome.
Absolutely, they would have. They probably would have fucked.
Cool.
But Michael Bay, of course, in a famous moment on the DVD commentary of the first Transformers movie, admits that he cast Megan Fox because he liked her stomach.
Yeah. There's a great shot, the famous shot
of the car, like her fixing the car.
Mm-hmm. Famous to me.
Oh my God.
There are many shots in this movie that are pretty iconic in my mind.
Well, you're probably the right age for it. But like, I didn't remember much about this movie, and I certainly didn't remember that. And
Wow.
you know what's wild is like, I thought it was like kind of creepy then, and now you watch the movie, and Megan Fox looks so much younger than I remember her looking,
She does. I agree.
and it's even creepier. Like, there's a moment in this movie where John Turturro starts freaking out about how hot Megan Fox is, and I'm like, hang on a second. Aren't the characters in this movie supposed to be like 16?
Yeah, it's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm looking at Megan Fox on IMDb. Because I remembered early on she was in one of the Olsen twins movies. It's Holiday in the Sun. Her second credit, Bad Boys 2, in 2003. She's credited as Stars and Stripes Bikini Kid dancing under waterfall.
No.
Oh no, is right.
Well, Michael Bay remembered that beautiful little girl,
Yeah.
and was like, "Hey, kid, your stomach's really evolved well."
Yeah.
Which is
The best thing she ever did is Jennifer's Body. right?
J-Bod, of course. Yeah.
That's like a legit great movie that she is great in.
Yeah.
She'll always have that. Better than a lot of people.
What do you mean? She's got a lot of. She's got
Really?
these Transformers. She's got Machine Gun
But what is she
Kelly in her
good in?
pocket. She's good in Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah. I guess, whatever.
She's good in the. I liked her on New Girl.
I mean, we just talked about her. I don't know why we're going into the whole, right? But
What did we talk about her in?
she's in those Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's right. She's April O'Neil too, motherfucker.
I'd say April O'Neil is a better character than Michaela, whatever her name is.
It's Michaela Balich or something like that because Michael Bay named the character after himself.
Oh my god, what a weirdo!
Yeah, Mike. It's Michaela Baines, like
Oh my
Michael
God.
Bay.
Yeah, no, I get it. All right, so there's that. There's Megan Fox.
All right, I've got more awards. The Razzies. John Voight was nominated for Worst Supporting Actor for like a bunch of shit he did that year. And he lost to Eddie Murphy, who played an Asian man in Norbit named Mr. Wong. So I can understand that one. The Saturn Awards, it was nominated for Sci-Fi and it lost to Cloverfield. But it did win Best Visual Effects of the year. All right.
Did Cloverfield not win Best Music for Rob's Party Mix?
Well, Transformers wasn't nominated, so I didn't look at that.
Oh, okay. I guess we
Yeah,
probably
it
covered
should have
in
been, man. How
Cloverfield
about that
episode.
song at the end by the dearly departed genius Chester Bennington?
Oh, you mean this movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a popular like a meme. I don't know if it was called a meme going on at the time where you would take an ending to a movie and you would add What I've Done by
Oh, yeah.
Linkin Park to the end. And
Yeah.
that's my most popular video I ever made on that I put on YouTube was I put Hereditary. I ended Hereditary with What I've Done. And,
What I've done.
yeah, spoiler alert for the outro of this episode. It's a no-brainer this week.
Yo, Linkin Park, one
Rules.
of the worst bands ever.
They're so good.
So bad. I'd rather listen to a Creed album than Linkin Park.
Really, I think I just heard a new Nickelback song recently. Is that possible, guys? Is Nickelback still making music?
Yeah, they are. Of course they are.
All right,
Still
Heard a
touring
new
the
one.
world.
They're still as great as always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad was killing it. Did he sing about Spider-Man in this one?
No, this one was about like back when we were young and we thought that first base was just holding hands. That's like a line in the song.
Mm.
But now if first base is
Tongue
cunnilingus.
kissing. Yeah. It's good stuff. I feel like all those band songs are about back in the day.
Yeah. Back those days. Those old days. It's all titled like that.
That was great. I think the song you were singing just now could have been a hit. Those days. Those old days.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What should we call ourselves?
Penny
Penny
Logan and
Front.
the Rippers.
Logan and the Rippers. Jesus Christ. All right. KCA, the Kids' Choice Awards. It was nominated for Best Movie, but sadly lost to Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's fair.
All right. People's Choice Awards. It lost Best Action Movie to Born Identity 3. And it lost Best Movie to Pirates of the Caribbean 3. And then Linkin Park was nominated for Best Song from a Soundtrack. It lost something from Hairspray. All right. Now, finally, Teen Choice Awards. Shia nominated for Best Action Actor. He lost to Johnny Depp, okay? But don't even worry about it because he was also nominated for Best Horror Thriller Actor for Disturbia, and he won that.
Yes. Who
Yeah.
who did he beat? Who was crying that night watching him celebrate?
Oh my god. Megan Fox, she lost to Keira Knightley for Pirates. People love those Pirates movies, man. And she lost breakout performance to Sophia Bush, who was nominated for her twin triumphs from that year, The Hitcher remake, and John Tucker Must Die.
Wow. Which one is she in that?
I don't know. She's got a mole on her face.
She's
I
the
remember
brunette
from-
girl.
Yeah. She was in
Okay.
One Tree Hill. I'm pretty sure she's retired from acting these days. So looks like the teens got that one wrong.
Yeah.
Because I can still see Megan Fox on my screen.
What is she doing these
All right.
days? I feel like she's not really either.
Really?
I kind of feel like not. Like when's the
Yeah,
last
I
time
guess
we've seen her? Like not the last 5 years.
She posted some pictures on Instagram recently of herself naked in the woods.
Okay. That's
Does
not
that count as a movie?
No. Well, I'm on her. She's making some stuff. Johnny and Clyde came out this year. She had a few 2022.
God. She's been in some
releases.
brutal shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like really bad looking stuff.
It's not looking good. Think Like a Dog. Her and Josh Duhamel rekindled their
Wow.
on-screen dynamic.
Their
Think Like a
partnership.
Dog. Gil Junger, you know him?
Hey, she's gonna be in Expendables 4.
What?
That'll be a good role for her.
This guy directed 10 Things I Hate About You.
What?
The guy who directed Think Like a Dog directed 10 Things I Hate About You.
What's
Yeah,
Think Like a Dog?
The movie that I just said.
Oh, with
that
Josh
Megan
Duhamel.
Fox.
Oh yeah, written and directed by the 10 Things I Hate About You guy.
Wow. Did he write 10 Things I Hate About You?
No, he didn't. Maybe that's his issue there.
All right.
Good script. All right.
So
So
by two ladies, 10 Things I Hate About You. Karen McCullough and Kirsten Smith.
what? Oh, written. Yeah.
Jesus.
And I've read the shooting script of that movie.
Karen McCullough also did The House Bunny, Legally
Yeah.
Blonde.
Incredible.
The other one, the same thing, kind of.
Yeah,
Well, I guess they're a
they're a
duo.
team.
I'm sorry, guys.
All right, let's talk about this movie. So you get that opening narration. It's Peter Cullen, by the way, who's like the voice of Optimus Prime in the original cartoon. And Bay brought him back. I read that Bay did not want to bring back old voices. But it's like fans were like saying, you gotta get Cullen. Cullen's the only guy who could do Optimus, you know? Like nobody else sounds like how Optimus is supposed to sound.
Who's Hugo then?
He's Megatron.
Oh, he's Megatron. Okay.
So, but I read that Michael Bay made Peter Cullen come in for an audition. So he had to audition for the part that he had iconically played years earlier. And to Michael Bay's credit, he was like, you know what? You do sound like an Optimus Prime. Let's bring you in.
Yeah, I like it. Do you know anybody else who auditioned who failed?
I have no idea.
Oh, that'd be great to know. Like Bill
Yeah.
Hader or somebody.
Bill Hader.
I don't know.
All right.
Hugh Jackman.
All right. So it's Qatar. We see Qatar, the Middle East, which I thought was a great locator. And Tyrese and Josh Duhamel are delivering some of the worst dialogue you've ever fucking heard about how they miss being at home or whatever.
Mhm.
And Duhamel sets up that he has a baby
Yeah.
that he has not met yet. All right. I thought that was going to lead to some big shit, but it kind of didn't.
Well, it adds stakes to the character.
I guess so. But like nothing ever happens with these military guys. They're just sort of hanging around in the military. This movie
None of
is
them
the
die, do they?
No, I don't think so. This movie's the Sam Witwicky show. Oh no, one of them does die. The guy from Titus.
I don't know.
I recognize this ginger fella from Titus, and he dies. Anyway,
This
but
just feels like that idea from that other movie that he didn't want to make because it was too close to 9/11. That he just kind of like brought
G.I.
over
Joe,
to this movie. Oh, right.
which brings me to my fucking next point. What is Hasbro doing here? I mean, I understand that this is pre-Marvel, like cinematic universes weren't all the rage yet, but Marvel's only 1 year from now. Okay, so like, if Hasbro was smart, they would make a couple of these military characters G.I. Joe characters.
But even Iron Man, throughout the entirety of Iron Man, is just a normal movie until the very, very end stinger.
No, I know, but like you can set it up. Like it'll be an Easter egg in the movie. Like they'll be like, "Hey, Duke," and
They
the
just weren't
fans will be
thinking
like,
that
"Oh my
way.
God, fucking Duke!"
It seems so obvious to like now to say that, but they just nobody was thinking that way.
Our world has changed so much,
I know. Now it would be
much
the
like
first
Cybertron
thought.
during the Great War.
Literally the first thought when people are making a movie now, when a character comes in, they're like, all right, who can this character be? Like, could this be like a new, like an Easter egg character? That's probably their first thought. And back in 2007, it wasn't on their radar.
You were doing it though in the X-Men. There's like a bunch of little references to X-Men characters in those first couple movies. And for a nerd like myself, I'm like, oh my God, they referenced Mr. Sinister.
You're in the
You know-
X-Men referencing X-Men. That's different than the Transformers referencing G.I. Joe.
But they're both Hasbro properties. They've crossed over a bunch of times. To me, they're interlinked much in the same way like Alien and Predator are.
But in Predator, they're not talking about Alien. Like they're not like, hey, didn't
Well,
I hear a
because
story
Alien
about
and-
Ripley who went missing on the spaceship? Whatever happened to that?
But in Predator 2, when they go aboard the Predator ship, they have the carcass of a fucking xenomorph.
Yeah.
Bitch.
All right, that's fair enough. That is way before Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
All right, you got me.
Or like, how about the end of Jason Goes to Hell when you see the Freddy hand? They were already doing shit like that. Give me a goddamn G.I.
That's
Joe.
cool. I like
Yeah.
that. Did they know that Freddy vs. Jason was coming out?
They knew it was a thing they wanted to do. It took them like 10 years, but yeah.
That's very cool. Did you know that in I mean this is based on a comic, so I guess it's just a thing. But in I Am Legend, when he's like,
That's not based on a comic.
No, I'm gonna say something, Daniel.
All
If you would
right.
stop interrupting me. He's driving through like the dystopian future, and like there are just cars all over, and he goes past a billboard of Batman v Superman on the. Do you know that?
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
That's all. That was always pretty cool to me.
Yeah, because that was a
You
movie
don't like that movie?
like what, I Am Legend?
Yeah, I kind of like that movie.
I don't, but I only saw it one time and it was in the theater and it was a horrible experience. This dude called my girlfriend a cunt and I had to like
Wow.
defend her. It was horrible.
Did she say I am cunt?
No, then she was mad at me because she felt I didn't defend her sufficiently.
What? What'd you do? What did you do to defend her? Did you?
I was just
was
like-
she right?
No, I said some like a dickish thing to him and then I moved our seats. That
What
was
did
back
she
in the
do to
days
make
you
him
weren't
say
assigned
that? Was she
seats.
talking during the movie?
I think he was talking. She tried to shush him. And it didn't
Oh,
go
he's
well.
way in the wrong then. That's crazy.
Of course he was. Of course he was. But then it all ended up falling on me. Maybe that's why I don't like that movie.
Or that girl anymore. I think you should add that to a rewatch list. I thought it was the whole Shrek thing.
I think that's the same girl I saw the Transformers with.
Well, it's the same year. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was when he's like quoting Shrek at the very end of it.
Well, I don't care for that much either.
That's fine.
And I kind of think the vampires look stupid.
No, I kind of like it. I thought they were pretty scary when I was young. And even
Well-
when older, I think they're kind of cool looking.
I'd have to see it again.
like
I'd be
veiny.
willing to watch that movie again at some point in my life.
All right. Maybe they should do I'm Legend 2 with Jaden.
That would be the worst.
that would be too much, just like After Earth or.
No, I mean you can't put Jaden in a movie. He's one of the most untalented people on the planet. He's the world's worst nepo baby.
Do you know that he makes music? Do you listen to that?
It's horrible.
How do you know? You haven't actually listened to a single Jaden Smith.
You
song.
think I haven't checked out a Jaden Smith song or two in my time?
All right, you probably have.
Yeah.
Who do you like more, Jaden or Willow?
Willow, much better.
They only have the 2 kids.
Yeah.
What would they name the third
unless
one?
you count that one kid that Jada was fucking.
I don't count him. What would they have named the third one though? Because they have Jaden after Jada and Willow after Will. But then if they had a third, what would they do?
Philium after Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil gets a name. or Carlton.
I don't know that they still hang out. Maybe they could have named the other kid like DJ Jazzy something.
All right, back to DJ Jazzy. Let's talk about Transformer Jazz.
Very good, very good. All right, let's talk about Shia.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so this is Sam Witwicky, one of the great character names of all time, and he wears a Strokes t-shirt this entire movie. A Strokes t-shirt I once owned.
Wow. Because of this movie?
No, I had it already. I remember when I went to see this movie, I was like, God damn it, I have that t-shirt.
On right now. Oh my God. And then you took it off because you hated the movie so much.
Nah, it's all right. But so he's wearing that Strokes t-shirt. He's in class. He's a real smart aleck. All right. He's trying to impress Megan Fox, but she doesn't know who the hell he is. All right.
Yeah, she's busy hanging out with the guy from Friday the 13th who says, "You got perfect nipple placement, baby."
Stupendous.
Oh, did you say stupendous nipple placement?
I believe so.
Oh my God, I can't believe I got it wrong.
I think he might say both. Anyway,
but
yeah,
that guy is cool.
That is absolutely what I recognized him from as well.
Mm-hmm. That's all I know him from.
Yeah. All right, so oh, and Shia's friend in this, I thought he was gonna be more of a character. He's like hanging out with this kid for a while at the beginning of the movie, but then you never see him again. He was the kid from fucking Elephant.
Those school shooter kid?
Yeah, no, the blonde kid who's like got the drunk dad out in the car.
Okay, like the main kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
That sort of blew my mind. I didn't know that he'd ever been in anything else.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Fun fact. All right, so Shia, the big thing about him, he's doing a presentation in class about his grandfather, and that's doing double duty. It's showing us what a smart aleck he is, but it's also letting us in on some info that's going to become vitally important later in the film.
Right.
All right. His grandfather was an explorer, Logan, and he was exploring the Arctic in 1897. He fell through the ice, whereupon he discovered Megatron, who was not alive at this point, and he also somehow activated the cube or something. And so,
was he alive beforehand? And how did he get there? Those are my two questions.
Alive. Yeah, they said he crash landed at one point. So here's what I think:
as just a dead body, though. He was already.
He just doesn't have power. I mean, it's not a dead body; they're robots. But Megatron, he got a hold of the cube. He was fleeing the Autobots, crash landed on Earth, fell under the ice, and Sam Witwicky's grandfather finds him. Okay. Then something happens where Megatron has a device that shows the location of where where Megatron hid the cube or something, and it hits Shia LaBeouf's grandfather in the face and becomes imprinted on his glasses. And so now to the Transformers, these glasses are the most powerful item in the universe. They all are after these glasses, and Shy is the one who's got them.
Yeah, basically. And then he also
It's
gets
so stupid. It's
Oh,
one
come
of the.
on.
It's so stupid.
What do you want him to do?
The idea that the glasses would still have this thing imprinted from
Yeah,
1897.
wouldn't the
Like,
glasses just break?
yes, yes, they would. Logan.
Yeah, I don't
I
understand
have
that.
glasses. They are very easily breakable.
Yeah, but that's the least of my worries.
All right. Tell me some
Do
of
you not
your
like
worries.
this movie? I don't have any worries. This is a great movie.
No, it's awful.
Zero worries. You think this is awful?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty bad movie. Like it's
I think it gets bad.
yeah. Well, definitely the second half is worse than the first
Like
half.
when Totoro shows up, that's when I lose any and all steam I had.
I think it's when the Transformers show up. Like I'm okay
Yeah.
with like Sam Witwicky hanging out with like, and he's got a mysterious car, Bumblebee.
Shia LaBeouf
And-
trying to get a girl is my kind of movie. That's
Yeah,
the
no,
same as
same.
Disturbia. It's just that's what I like.
Battle
So-
of Shaker Heights.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that, but I will. But all of that stuff I'm into. And then when it's like, yeah, I think you're right. When all the Transformers show up and then Totoro's after the Transformers and it's like 20-minute long sequence of him trying to arrest them, that's when I'm really bored.
Because here's what else I like. I like the parents.
Yeah.
I think Shia's parents are both funny. I knew the mom from a sitcom, and the dad's Kevin Dunn from Snake Eyes, among other things.
Warrior.
And is he in Warrior?
He's the principal. Joel Edgerton's.
Oh,
He's like a
wow.
teacher. He's the principal.
Okay. Oh yeah, I could kind of picture that. Okay. So and then like he's getting a new car. He gets to meet Bernie Mac for a second. It's nice to see Bernie because he has so few performances because he died right after this.
A lot of franchises though. He's in Oceans and Bad Santa. The ones you've covered. I don't know what else. At least those two.
Yeah, at least. Probably in others. But he's great. And so I'm in. I'm into the movie. You know, it's a nice little coming of ager. Shy is on top form as far as I'm concerned. He's the MVP of this movie. Carries this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And but then like
You know what
It's
else I
really-
don't like?
what?
The whole Anthony Anderson. There's like bringing Anthony Anderson, and he
Awful.
has like a sexy blonde Australian lady sidekick. Well, I guess he is the sidekick. She like goes to get him.
Yeah,
and
the
then-
blonde Australian is Rachel Taylor from Jessica Jones and shit.
Oh, well, I
Uh,
only knew Anthony Anderson, but all that stuff sucked too. I actually kind of like Josh Duhamel. I didn't like the whole like military stuff. Was a little
Wait,
boring.
You're going too fast for me past all
Oh,
these great characters, all right?
I'm sorry.
I want to say about Rachel Taylor, she was really tan in this movie. And I've only ever seen her pale in movies, and I think Michael Bay made her go to a tanning salon.
Yeah, that sounds like something that he would do.
All right. I want to say that real quick. I want to say that Anthony Anderson was a huge annoyance in this movie, was very bugged by him, but I did like that his cousin was played by the great Omar Benson Miller, aka my favorite character from Ballers.
Yeah, I actually recognize that guy, and I meant to look him up, but I didn't. But I've seen that guy before too.
Well, that's who it was, dude. And I want to say something else in the group of techie guys that Rachel Taylor was in. There was another person I was excited to see, Logan.
Yeah.
Tom Lenk from Cabin in the Woods and eventually Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You'll see him.
He's the guy with the coffee mug, the stoner guy from Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Wow, I did not.
Wait, no,
recognize
he's
him.
not the stoner guy in Cabin in the Woods. That's Fran Kranz.
Oh, who is he in Cabin in the Woods?
I think Tom Lenk might just be in like the Office with Bradley Whitford and shit.
What? There are two famous people in that office. Everyone else doesn't matter. It's
Well,
Bradley
one-
Whitford.
No,
and it's-
but to a fan of Buffy, he's important.
I guess so. Whatever. So you brought up
I got
somebody
news
that's
for you.
not
The other girl that's in the office there with Bradley Whitford, regular and Angel.
Wow, that's very cool. Way
Yeah.
to go! Who made that movie?
Joss Whedon.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, Joss Whedon made that movie. I was about to say the so I don't know who that guy is. I thought you were referencing
All right.
somebody
Anyway,
else.
whatever. So Shia, he he gets the car. His dad buys him Bumblebee, and Bumblebee is being weird. He's doing weird stuff, driving on his own. Megan Fox is intrigued by this weird kid in his weird car. I like all that stuff. I'm in. All right. We find out that Shia is selling stuff on eBay, and his tag is Ladies Man 217. I laughed
Right.
at that. I also read that 217 is Michael Bay referencing his own birthday, February 17th.
Oh wow.
And and
Wait a
so
second.
that
Is Rey Mysterio's birthday June 19th?
no, that's the area code where he grew up.
Okay. Okay.
619. Booyaka. Um so but then it all goes downhill. All the Transformers show up. They're real stupid. Like they seemed like a real military crew in that first movie. And in this one, it's like he keeps like looking through windows, and it's like, Optimus, wait 5 minutes for Shia to come out with these glasses. What is
Yeah,
he doing? Like leaning on the house and shit.
but they're. I don't think. I think it's they're just not civilized more than they're
They're just not
stupid.
used to being so big, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe everything on Cybertron is bigger skewing. It's like
Yeah,
that
it's
level of
like
Mario Brothers where everything's big.
sure, it's like to their size, I guess. But I like that they like one part. Well, I like
Tell
many
me.
parts, but one specific part when we learned that like there was a rover that got lost on Mars, but it didn't get lost. It got destroyed by a transformer, and we see the footage of the
Yeah,
transformer on Mars. I really like that part.
I love that. The second they started showing that rover footage, I said out loud, like, I better see a fucking transformer in this
Oh,
footage.
did you think there was any chance you weren't gonna see it?
But I thought that like that we would just see a glimpse of like the logo or something. But no, it was literally like a giant transformer was like, oh, watch this.
Yeah, and they have like two different shots of it. There's like here's one shot, and then here's a different shot from this angle. And it's like you can really try to find out who this is. It's
Yeah,
great
this is
stuff.
unmistakably a car robot. I mean, I don't know where it came from, but here it is.
Yeah.
I
There's the Armageddon reference. Did you like that?
No, I didn't.
Did you know who that guy was that made the reference? Because I saw him in another movie this week.
Who was it?
It was a guy who was in The Matrix Resurrections. He works at like Keanu is like the game developer in that movie. He like developed the game The Matrix, and that guy works at the company.
Oh
And in this movie, he's like, "This is way better than Armageddon" or something like that.
which it's not.
No, not even close. It's
I
kind of
liked
close.
the Scorpion transformer in like the Middle
Yeah,
East.
the early sequence.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool.
That's all right. I kind of forgot how this movie ended, to be honest. Like, I remembered a lot of the early stuff, and then I feel like all the times I watched this, I kind of just turn it off after a certain point.
Oh, I mean, so much of the last third of this movie is just Transformers fucking fighting each other, Shia diving around trying to keep the glasses. I mean, just a bunch of like really gross, bad comedy.
Yeah.
How about when Bumblebee peed on John Turturro?
Well, that was a great part.
I hated that. That was like disgust. Like I gagged at that.
But yeah, I don't know. He like pulled his little gas
He
can.
pulled his fuel cap off, and he just. But it was right where his dick would be, and
Where
just
else would
started.
it be?
Come on,
It's got to be a funny joke. It's not in his elbow. That's not funny.
it's not. There's no way that joke could be funny.
I remember when I was little thinking it was funny.
Yeah, you're dumb.
So what? It's funny.
All right.
That's what Michael Bay is making it for.
You know what part I really did like? I thought was the funniest part of this movie. It reminded me of National Treasure. The idea that During World War II, the American government knew the location of the Allspark. All right. And Herbert Hoover had the Hoover Dam specifically built to be built around the Allspark so that nobody could find it ever. I
Wow.
thought that was amazing.
Yeah, I love when movies do things like that. That's so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Um, I feel like I had something, and then I forgot what I was gonna say. That's like, oh, did one part of this movie remind you of the Lost World, Jurassic Park?
Remind me.
There's a part, it's like toward the end of the movie when like everyone's just like running around the city, and well, it's actually at night, so I don't know when that would take place. But there's a little girl who there's like a transformer comes out of a pool, and there's a little girl outside, and she's like, oh, like looking up in awe at the. I guess it would make sense that Spielberg produced it. I didn't even know that at the time, but it's like the exact same scene where there's like a dinosaur in somebody's backyard goes across like by the pool, and little kids like, whoa, and the parents are like, oh, go to bed, little Jimmy. You remember
Isn't there
that?
another moment in this movie where someone's like references ET and calls it stupid or something?
I don't remember that. Really?
I think that was a shout out to Steven.
What did that happen?
I don't remember.
That's not a positive shout out though.
It was just
They
like a little
diss
joke.
E.T.?
Yeah, I think he dissed
Did you
ET
write
a
this
lot.
movie?
Henry
Who,
did.
who would diss ET? That's crazy.
Give me more. I'm running out of steam.
Um, Me too. I'll be honest. These movies did not really do it for me. I'm not excited for the rest of Transformers month.
I kind of am. Here's why. Let me just finish chewing the thing I'm chewing.
What are you eating over there?
Just a gummy.
Gummy.
Mm.
All right. Can I tell you a part
All
that I
right.
actually like?
Wait.
Oh,
No. I'm
really?
gonna say. Here's what I'm excited about with these movies. Here's why I wanted to do it for the show, and I've wanted to do it for years. Because I like franchises that are just constantly flailing and trying to figure out what they're supposed to be. And there's like no art involved whatsoever at any moment. It's just like trying to adhere to what they think will make money. And so I love that this franchise, it's like little sections. There's like the cartoon from the 80s, and then Michael Bay made these two big movies with Shia and Megan Fox, and then Megan Fox gets fired, and it's Shia and some other girl in the third one. Then he shit cans that whole thing. It becomes a fucking Mark Wahlberg franchise, and and then like they make like a little fun movie for teens, like teen girls, Bumblebee.
Hey,
And
I
now
watched
they're
that in the
just like,
movie theater.
and now they're like fucking robot dinos and stuff, Beast Wars. Let's get into it. And so I sort of admire the Transformers. I admire its willingness to evolve into whatever they think is going to make money at any given point.
Aren't you like always on here talking about how wanting just like the money is the problem?
No, of course that's a problem. You're not going to get good movies out of that. But
Well, that's all they're doing is just riding the wave.
But no, the franchises I like to cover on the show, like Friday the 13th or like the first 7 Fast and Furiouses, it's just like there's no plan. It's just movie to movie. What the fuck are we gonna do next? What is this gonna be?
The Star Wars sequel.
All we know
trilogy.
is that we're gonna make another movie.
Yeah.
I
guess so.
And I'm always very interested in that.
They have one planned after this next one.
For a while they were gonna do a whole Transformers cinematic universe. I don't know what happened to that. They were working on spin-offs and shit. I think they were gonna make like a prequel that took place like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, I'm not really into that. All right, what happened? I mean, Josh Duhamel on a motorcycle, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. One thing I liked about this toward the end of the movie, they have a moment. Sam Witwicky and Michaela is her name. Did we get a last name? I don't remember.
Michael Baines.
Oh yeah, you told me. She they have a moment toward the end where she's like, "By the way, I'm so glad that I got in your car that day at the park." And they go off and they don't kiss in that moment, which I think is a nice touch because it seems like that will be the moment, like the big action. He's going off with the Allspark. That's the time where they would kiss, but they don't. And which I guess you could say is a negative because then you know he's just gonna live or whatever, probably. But I like it. And then at the end, they're kissing on the car. I think that's a nice touch.
Yeah, I thought it was sweet. The honestly the like you remember it being a little bit lascivious because Michael Bay directed it, and like the famous shot of Megan Fox in this movie is that like full body shot of her like in like short shorts and shit
Yeah.
on that car. But the love story between Megan Fox and Shia LaBeouf in this is kind of low key and sweet.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but she has a moment at one point where she's like, "Am I like a vain person?" And it's like I get that she's trying to change, and she likes Sam Witwicky or whatever.
But
But
Sam also had a line like that where he was like, "You have no idea. Like my life has been hard," and then she comes back at him like, "Your life has been hard, Mister like suburban kid whose dad buys him a car. Like you don't know what trial is like." It like they both had some. Like, it's all very generic and cliche, but I like that they both had like points of view, and they were trying to like figure out whether they would work in each other's lives.
right, but I think the fact that she cares so much about her image of wanting to be with that other guy, even though he so clearly like treats her bad, I think that does make her
16.
vain.
No,
I know.
that's just what all people are. I was gonna say girls, but it's dudes too when they're that age.
Yeah. Um, I mean, you're right. I feel like I had something, and then you started. What was I gonna say?
Interrupting you.
No, you didn't interrupt me. But damn, I really was gonna say something.
Did you like how Bumblebee communicates with songs and shit?
Yeah, they said like he was dumber than the rest of them.
No, that is not what they said.
No, they said he like got hurt or whatever something.
They said his like voice box got knocked out or something. So that's the only way he can communicate.
Right, but then at the end he's talking again. How'd that happen?
Yeah, and that sort of blew my mind because like as far as I remember, in the second Transformers and the ads I saw for the Bumblebee movie, he's still doing the thing where he's communicating through songs.
Right.
So are they just gonna be like, he can't talk. It's better this way.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll find out going forward, right?
Yeah, we will.
Trying to figure out what I was gonna say about Sam and Michaela's relationship.
Sorry. Should
All
we
right.
should we wrap up?
Yeah, I guess so.
What do you give this movie?
I'll give it a 2. It's really
Mm.
long.
Yeah, I give it 2 as well. It is way too long. Two
Could
and a half
easily be a
hours. I
3.
couldn't believe that. Yeah.
Could be a 3. I think I had it as a 3.
MVP Shia?
Yeah, gotta go Shia.
Who's your L?
Well, I wrote Megan Fox because I don't think that she's. Oh, I was gonna talk about the twist on her whole little character. How it's like she sets up how her dad worked on cars, but then it's like a plot twist later on that her dad was in jail for stealing cars, and she also was in like a part of it and went to juvie a lot.
Yeah. She was like, sometimes my dad couldn't get a babysitter, so I had to go steal cars with him.
Yeah, and there's like a part where Sam Witwicky like stands up for her, and he's like, and by the way, after all this is said and done, I want her juvie record
Yeah.
taken off. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Expunged. Yeah. And she was like, all right, officially wet.
Yeah, that was a nice moment. But I thought that was like, that didn't work for me, that whole twist. And she's not good. Like, is it like,
I think she's fine. I think she's fine in this movie.
I
She's
don't
nowhere
think she's
near my
very good.
LVP. I mean, you're saying all this good shit about Josh Duhamel. I'll take fucking Megan Fox over Josh Duhamel in this.
No, I think he's trying to like be a star. I don't know. It's not working.
Yeah,
He's
and
trying.
failing.
He's trying. Come on. I'll go Anthony Anderson just because I don't like him.
Anthony Anderson, that's a good choice. I gotta say, I'm such a John Turturro fan. but he's really bad at this.
Yeah, but he got pee-peed on.
But you know what? Maybe I want to go with John Voight. I
Wow.
found John Voight very irritating in this movie. And I also thought it was weird that he was the Secretary of Defense and the president was just George W. Bush, but you never saw his face.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was very interesting. I did like when he started wielding a shotgun toward the end of the movie. John Voight.
I guess.
That was pretty cool. I like the one little transformer who we see early on Air Force One, and then is like
Yes.
scattered throughout the rest of
Frenzy.
the movie. He's cool, or she.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
Or they.
And probably the best fight scene in the movie. Like I thought the best action sequence in the movie was like Shia trying to run away from that thing.
Yeah. Well, the desert scorpion thing was pretty cool.
No, I know that's awesome, but like that's ultimately like I think they made that up for this movie. I don't know that fucking Transformer. I think they were just like it would be fun to have a desert Transformer.
They were right.
But like what's he doing? You never see him hanging out with the Decepticons.
Well, they kill him, don't they?
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Do they have more than one race of Transformer?
Well, I think we're gonna learn that more going forward because there's like the Rise of the Beasts. That's the one.
You know how Yaddle is like a girl Yoda?
No.
Oh, in the prequels, there's like one of them. She doesn't talk, but she's like a woman Yoda, and her name's Yaddle. And so, is there like a woman?
You think that's
Of
Grogu's
Bumblebee?
mom?
It's possible. Do we know? Like, I don't know what species that's called, but it's one of those species. And so I'm wondering if they'll have like a woman Bumblebee or something at one point.
I hope so. If only so Bumblebee can let someone fill that socket that he pees out of.
Do you think someone would fill his socket?
Yeah, I think it works in reverse.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, I was actually
Interesting.
wondering about this. I think like how do Transformers mate? And I'm thinking maybe they don't because it's just like the all spark that creates the Transformers. But like they
but
might
God
just-
created humans, but then humans started fucking each other
Yeah.
and making people.
they might just like plug into each other. It might be like an Avatar thing, like with the hair.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what they attach to each other because they don't have anything like that.
Like a hose pipe.
Yeah. Leave your suggestions in the comments for how you think it would have. Leave a 5-star rating and let us know how you think. the
I'm
Transformers-
sure so many losers and creeps have thought long
There's
and hard
fan fiction.
about this.
Rule
Yeah.
34 is that what it's called? Shout
Yeah.
out to Tim. I'm sure there's Rule 34 of Bumblebee. Bumblebee
All right.
and Haley Steinfeld probably.
Gang, next. Oh, I looked it up. So next week on the show, we're doing Transformers Revenge of the Fallen and Transformers Dark of the Moon. And I'm looking forward to both. We'll get I've never seen Dark of the Moon.
I saw some.
And
of it.
that was the one. Remember, I told you I saw a trailer in the theaters. It looked like an awesome new Roland Emmerich movie, and then like halfway through the trailer, it turned out to be Transformers 3, and I audibly groaned.
Right. Is that the one? One of them. I think that's the one with Frances McDormand. Is she in that one?
She's in one of these.
I think it might be. It's probably that one.
Looking forward to
I
that.
think I saw all of that one. Maybe. I think I saw the first 3 Transformers.
Okay, well, we're gonna be wrapping up the ones Logan seen next week. Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. Patreon.com/the franchise. I'm watching your recommendations for hey, I'm watching here. And I'll tell you about all the other shit I watched this week. And Buffy, we're on episodes 3 of Buffy and Angel, season 4 and season 1. This is the first big crossover. The Harsh Lighted Day and In the Dark. All that. Oh, and we're ranking part 4s, franchise part 4s. That's all coming at you later this week behind a mere $5 of paywall on patreon.com/the franchise.